Hello everybody, this is Mike with TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks, and today we're going to be talking about books. There's been a thread going around. I think it was started with Momma's Records, and I've seen Mad for Vinyl, Market Mad for Vinyl, and Steve and Carlson do their takes on this. I've also seen Brian at EmbryonicRobot do one, and several others. So I thought I would jump onto this and do 4 books and try to do it in 4 minutes. I wanted to do all music books. So the first book I'm showing is not a music book and it's not counted in the 4. So, but I'm currently reading it, and it's a very thick and interesting read. It's George Martin's Fire and Blood. This edition has a lot of really nice illustrations in it. Sorry, it's not cooperating the way I'd like so. And there's these nice illustrations spread throughout. The reason why it's kind of a difficult read is it's more like the history. And if you're familiar with the Game of Thrones, it's the history of the Targaryen family before Game of Thrones takes place. So it's written like a history, but it does have a lot of really cool stories spread throughout. So interesting, a little bit of a slow read, 700 pages, and yeah. Anyway, the 4 music books I wanted to show. First of all is Ghost Rider. This one's been kind of a long read for me too, in a different way. It's because I really enjoy this and just want to savor every minute of it. It's Neil Peart's story of how he lost both of his daughter in an automobile accident and then his wife to cancer 6 months later, and how devastating it was to him. And so what he did is he semi-retired for a couple of years, got on his bike and just rode wherever his mind took him. And it's his way of overcoming grief, the struggles he had with this, and then eventually, a story of redemption by the time you get towards the end. But really great, almost a travelogue in some places. Other places, he does his narration through letters to a friend who happened to be in jail at the time. Really very interesting book, and if you're familiar with Rush or a Rush fan, Neil Peart is their drummer and lyricist. He uses a lot of his lyrics throughout this book to illustrate different points. Just awesome book. Currently getting into this Bob Dylan, The Essential Interviews. These are different Rolling Stone interviews. No pictures in this one, it's all just text, but very interesting stuff. Anybody knows Bob Dylan interviews are very captivating. Sometimes he tells stories and makes believe it's true, and other times just the opposite. He'll tell something that actually happened to him. You don't know whether to believe him or not. So another great book. Also in the middle of reading Neil Young's Waging Heavy Peace. This one I read from time to time. It's a little, and it's got a lot of pictures throughout from his career and that, but this is all written by Neil Young, and it's not necessarily always an easy read because he jumps around a lot. 1 minute he'll be talking about some experience from several years ago in music, and the next paragraph he's talking about his train sets, which he loves to collect. But either way, it's really an interesting book. Nice to hear his perspective on different things. Neil Young, Waging Heavy Peace. And last but not least, slowly making my way through Rolling Stone's Illustrated History of Rock and Roll. This is a humongous, heavy book full of pictures, different write-ups on different bands. Just a very, very interesting book. And, you've got everybody in here, so split up in chapters throughout time. So, Rolling Stone's Illustrated History of Rock and Roll by Anthony DeCurtis and James Henke with Holly George Warren. The original editor was Jim Miller. So, that's it. So there's some books. Yes, I'm into reading. I love reading. And I love reading music biographies. That's one of my goals, is to read more. So anyway, thank you for watching. And yes, this went up to 6 minutes, longer than I wanted to go. But there it is. Thank you so much.